Hi guys, welcome to my new VFX breakdown. In this video we are going to break down how I did Viper Poison Cloud effect. Before I start anything, I just want to give a quick shout out to Emma. She's an amazing VFX artist and you should go follow her on Artstation and other social media. As I always say in my videos, this is not a step-by-step tutorial, this is a breakdown of the effects, so I'm just going to show you some emitters and some tips and tricks along the way on why I did it the way I did them. Uh, so first we're going to talk about the purpose of this effect, and it's just supposed to be a vision blocker for your team and enemy team. So yeah, it's supposed to be non-transparent, a little bit opaque, and since it's a poison, let's make it be a pretty poison. Um, this effect, as you can see, I did the whole sequence on the timeline, so we see all the character animations over here, grenade launch, and all the particle systems turning on and at some time. And actually, quick tip, if you use control track and put your particle system in the control track, you don't have to be in a game in play mode to preview it. You can just go scroll the timeline and you're going to see your effect. For all the materials for this whole effect, I actually used my uh, essential VFX shaders, which you can get for free on my Gumroad. So you don't have to ask me how do I do Fresnel or dissolve. Everything is in here, and go check out that video how to use it. Okay, so let's go one by one. As you can see on the effect, first we have the grenade, then we have this little smoke, then we have this directional smoke, and then we have the flash and the cloud, and dissipation in the end. So let's go one by one. So first thing is this grenade, which is consisted of several things. First thing is this head, which is just a glowy default particle. And we have the sparks, which are like also a default particle, just they spawn over rate over distance. So whenever we move it, it's just going to randomly spawn some spawns to sparks. I used a pretty low number over here, and also it has some noise, so they have some movement additional, and that's basically it for the sparks. And for the trail, just the basic Unity trail with the material that actually scrolls this texture, so when we move it, it actually gives us a little bit more illusion of movement. Nothing fancy over here, so trail is pretty simple. Next thing we have is this little smoke over here, which we can actually see. Let me just turn it on, and it's pretty simple. It's just a flip book that I did, and actually I have three flip books in this effect. And as you know, usually you're going to draw a flip book frame by frame, and since I can't draw, I used like a technique that I kind of invented. Just I used Embergen, and you can actually see it in the video over here. I'm just going to put it on the screen somewhere, and this is how this flipbooks looks. So just spawn it, loop it, and it goes away after some time. The next thing is we go to the big cloud, and as we can see, we see this first directional smoke, and I'm actually pretty sure for this directional smoke that I could have set it up a different way, not with the cloud. It should probably been in this little smoke part, but that's just how I did it. Again, this is just a flipbook, and it actually has a little bit of dissolve over here. So, not dissolve, UV distortion, so I get a little bit of additional movement. But that's about it. It's just like before grenade explodes, like some kind of anticipation. Then we go to this big big flash, which is also a flipbook, which looks like this. And to be honest, it's so fast that you barely can see any movement, so it could have been also just one sprite image, not a whole flipbook. But it kind of explodes, and then we see our whole ball. Let's go with the ball one by one, and all these emitters are just sphere mesh, so we deal with a lot of balls over here. That's what she said. So let's go one ball by one. As I said, it's a ball. I think every ball has a little bit of vertex displacement, so the mesh actually moves. You're probably going to see it better on some others, but this first one just has inverted Fresnel, so we get the inner glow of our ball. And the second one has the inverted Fresnel, is just a really low value, so it actually kind of looks like it doesn't even have Fresnel. Like, as you can see, it does a very little bit, and it's just a black part. And when you combine these two, you kind of get the inner stuff of our ball. So let's go again for the other one. This one actually has inverted depth fade. And if you don't know what depth fade does, depth fade actually, where there is intersections between two meshes or two of anything, where it intersects, it's actually going to fade out a little bit our mesh, so we get smoother transition. But if you actually invert it, it's it feels like a laser, like a scan. So every everywhere where there is intersection, we're going to see our mesh over there. So if I actually just add a cube, and let me just move it and scale it like this, we're going to see our additional lines over here, because that's where it intersects with our cube. So that's pretty cool part. Uh, Next thing is this green Fresnel. You probably can see better over here the movement of our vertices, and when you actually use these two, it completes the whole circle. It just looks really nice. Uh, these balls are all set up to. These are also to view, but they could be on local. It didn't really matter. But for these ones, not this one, I actually skipped. For these ones, it's pretty important that they are set to view and that they are rotated 90%, because then, let me just show you on the one ball, we get this pointy thing, like the top of the sphere, this pointy thing, we get it to always look towards us. So we get that scroll from the inside to the outside really nicely. This outer scroll is just a big sphere, but we don't. We just render the back faces of our mesh, so that's why we don't see the first part. We see it like just in the back, and this one is like the first scroll. Then we have the second scroll. It should be a little bit smaller than this one. Yeah, you can see 9.8. This sphere is 9.5. And then we have this one, which is just for the back, a little detail. And we also just render the back faces of this mesh. And when they work all together, you get something like this. But if you set up all the balls, and you see how they will look. So some of the balls, they just fade in and go size over time, but for all of these ones, they actually, as you can see, they kind of uh, appear, so they dissolve in. They all have in custom data, they all have animated dissolve property with I think all of them use this map, so this dissolve map, so it really doesn't matter. And you just time everything correctly, and you get this beautiful cloud. You also add some sparks just to fly around to get a little bit more details, and that's basically about it. And in the end, we have uh, we have this big flash which we see on start. We have it in the end, which acts like it sucks in our poison. And when you play everything and you animate the dissolves, fade-ins, and whatsoever, this is how everything looks. Yep. So basically, that's about it. And I hope you like this video. Uh, I would appreciate it if you follow me on my other social media. I'll put the link tree down below. And yep, that's all. Have a nice day.